Shabbat Shalom. This is the Dvar Torah number 4. I will try to do my best in the next hour to explain to you. I will try to do my best to do it really short, maybe not so sweet, but meaningful about what we are celebrating today. I really want to thank also Ruben and Leslie and Julia. I don't really need to come back to Matovu Alecha, Bilam, Balak. But there is something really interesting that I want to share with you about the Torah portion. That is, the first paragraph said, Matovu Alecha, Oel, tent. But the more important thing is the second paragraph, Mishkenotecha. From there, Mishkenotecha, we bring to us the holy work to create the Mishkan, the sanctuary. And I really believe that we are trying to be all together here to move for our local tent to the global sanctuary that we can share the common values of progressive Judaism. This is a work in progress that started here in London before 100 years. And it's true, we need to celebrate the pioneers, the people that you will learn in the last days, and you have the 7 ones that are in the picture, the firstborn. They had the vision, and they said, from our local tent, we really want to invite to the big tent, to build a place of holiness rooted in our Jewish progressive values to everyone. Means different language, different cultures, different geographies. Diversity into unity, that is not only a union, it's one people, one family. It's true, before 200 years in Germany, and also here 100 years before, we lead a process of revolution in theology, in liturgy, rooted in the practice in the synagogue. We have the courage and the strength to make the revolution. We was not afraid. We are not asking for permission. We was really proud because we was aligned with the vision. We know exactly what we want to do. And we pay the price. But year after, we grow up like a new stream in the Jewish religion. Also, we need also to take some credit about the conservative movement. That is a consequence of the Reform movement. But this approach of revolution in theology and liturgy needs from the next century to move from revolution to evolution. We need to evolve. We need to set up our agenda. We need to be clear about what is the next step. It's true, we are here honoring the past, but not with nostalgia. We came here with hope, with commitment. We are here because the past is important to remember from where we are coming, but the only way that we can make the distinction between destiny and future is what we decide to do today in the present. We cannot wait. We need to move forward. We are talking about 100 years, and we want really to celebrate and also to thank the EUPJ to invite us to celebrate our 100 years. This is something that worldwide we are doing from the last October when the Jewish calendar start of the 100 years in Jerusalem with the reopening of Shmuel in connection to our international conference. We start really to call every region when we can really come to celebrate together. We do it in April in Hong Kong, now June in London, July in Durban, South Africa, August, Curacao, Latin America. We have also November in Melbourne, and we have also in Philadelphia in December. That means to go around the world to have a window opportunity to celebrate the 100 years of the World Union. But London is the beginning. London is the place that we can really remember, but maybe we can renew the commitment of the vision and the mission of the World Union. I really like so much our movement because always we celebrate, inclusive when we fail. We celebrate. We have the good mood to say, we do it, we succeed, we can do it, but someday, we need to close the door. And coming back what Gilad told us, we need to close the door. We need to put on the table. We fail. It's not short, I know, and here is the part that is not sweet. We fail. Because if you take a look about Bilam, he was in the mountain, zoomed out the camp of Israel, and he saw the tents, but the tents of tribes. And we have a global organization that we celebrate 100 years, that is the World Union. But the question is, really we have a global movement? This is not the case that every tent, every tribe, every region is doing Shabbat by himself. Where is the place that we have the round table? The round table means round table. Everyone have a place, everyone have a voice. No matter if you are big, if you are small, if you are in the center, if you are in the periphery. And of course, like a family, we need also some psychological care. Because when you are in the family and you have a big brother that treats you like a dad, you need to talk. Or in the family, when you have 2 or 3 sisters and brothers that they build a coalition and you are not part of this conversation and family, we need to talk. We need to put on the table the challenges that we have. Not in the confrontation of management of ego and power, on the vision of the shared values that we want to offer to the new challenge that we have. And what is this challenge? For us, 3 things. First of all, to connect. It's a lot of work to connect. It's a lot of energy to keep going together. Now with the technology, with everything that we have, doesn't mean that we are really connected, because if we are not really talking about the same common ground, it's only text, not communication and not dialogue. We need to have the courage really to say what we need to say, in front, not in the back. We need to move from conspirations to common goals and an agenda that we are ready to go together. I really want to say in 100 years that we are celebrating all the honor, all the credit to the pioneers that met here and start here. I really surprised and I really to make some justice for the last 50 years. There is a family that we need to remember and we need to honor. Family Hirsch. Dick and Bella Hirsch. Before 50, it's the half of the centenary. 50 years, they make a crucial decision. They decide, and it was not easy times in the US. He was the champion of civil rights. He marched with Martin Luther King. He created the Religion Action Center, have all the credit, good friends, easy fundraising to convince his friend that something else needs to be. Also in the CCR, he started to talk with the committee about Israel. And if you need more information, because everyone they have the privilege to be mentored by Dick, he told you every time the same story, all the book of For the Sake of Zion, that is exactly what we are talking today. I think that we need to balance a little, you know. From 100 years, the turning point before 50, when he decided, first of all, to put Israel on the center of the Jewish liberal progressive reform Judaism, and to convince his fellows in the US first that is a direction, and to move the headquarters to Jerusalem and to build Beit Shmuel and Merkat Shimshon, and to really build the vision that the future of our peoplehood is in Israel, needs our recognition, and especially Bela's recognition, because we know exactly how it works. He made really decisions that now we are proud to receive the fruits of this really hard work. But on the other hand, maybe we need to think about the Mishkan, the sanctuary, and the tents. How we move from the tent to the Mishkan, to the sanctuary. I will share with you only a few examples. One is the tent that we are talking every time is that we are a movement aligned with Tikkun Olam. Agree? But this is the third tent that we need to be there to build the Mishkan. Because we are not an NGO for Tikkun Olam. We are a spiritual Jewish movement, roots in Torah, in mitzvot, in Malachah, in Jewish text and Jewish study. We need to come back to the glossary of the Jewish tradition. We cannot leave this glossary to the Orthodox fellows saying, we are the only one that keep Torah, Halakha, and mitzvot. We are proud because we are rooted in these values. And that's our work, to keep it and to renew it. The second thing is how we can arrive, in the Kabbalah is clear, you cannot really arrive to Tikkun Olam without Tikkun Atzmi and Tikkun Am. It's step by step. We are a spiritual movement. We need to nurture our internal spiritual life. We need to find ways that is not only to pray, to grow up internally and to be strong in our values and our identity, to stand by Israel, the state of Israel and the vision of Israel. For progressive Reform Jews, there is no way to hesitate. Zionism is for us a mitzvah. It's not ideological political decision. It's a central value of our identity. This is also Tikkun Atzmi. Before you go out to discuss with other one, you need to discuss with yourself in which place Israel is in your life and in the Jewish people. The second one, of course, Tikkun Am. How we can really go out to fix the world if we cannot fix the family? And one of the more powerful opportunities for Tikkun Am that we have is Zionism. Zionism doesn't mean that we need to move all of us to Israel. Zionism means today responsibility. And it's not more the dialogue between Israel and the diaspora. We need to cancel the term diaspora. We are not more diaspora, and Israel is not in the center of us around. Israel is part of the round table. We need to take care with Israel about the conversation about what Israel means for all of us. One thing is the government, and we heard very clear statement from Gilad. The other thing is the state of Israel. And if you have doubts, you need only to read one document, not only the Torah, about the promise to Abraham. You need to read the Declaration of Independence of Israel, and you need to sign it. I think that we need to sign it. Like Reform Progressive Jews, we need to sign this declaration to say, I am standing with that. But the tent of Israel is full of problems. But the Mishkan, the sanctuary of Israel, is an ongoing process. It's a working process. It's something that we need to be committed in any place that we are, in any time that we face. Another tent is the young people, our kids, the next generation, where they are in the camp, which place we gave them. Now with AI, with social media, with our new generation that are not using smartphones, they are living there. For them, something that is not digital and virtual is not real. That means that we need to scale up and to be there and not to teach them what they need to do. We need to listen to them. They need to teach us. We cannot put our young generation in the youth department forever, telling them, you know, you are young, you are the future, and I am the present. You need to grow up, you need to wait. That's one of the reasons why they left. Maybe we need to step back, to invite them to be on the front, to mentoring them, but to be led by them. The last thing that I really want to share with you is how we can really be one family, coming back to the principles of the Reform Progressive movement. I think that the idea and the success of the progressive movement here in the UK, that finally liberal and reform became one, is a model that we need to find the common ground, how we can really work, how we can really find the common ground. I call this the global leadership, the dialogue between the global agenda and the local needs. We need to support local leadership and local needs, but align with the dialogue with the global agenda. Now, to finish, the World Union is not more an umbrella organization for two reasons. The first one is evident. You cannot be an umbrella when no one really wants to be under the umbrella. The second one, umbrella, is a hierarchical, top-down model, old-fashioned, doesn't work. We are silos of regions. We have a global organization that is the World Union, but we need to build together a global movement. We are not here to say what we need to do. I am not saying that I am right. I am really sorry about my bad English, but my message is very clear. It's time to act. It's time to follow up our pioneers. And right now, in the same way that Rabbi Dick Hirsch, Zichrono Livracha, started the movement of the last 50 years, we have one of his sons, Ami Hirsch, that he started in the US, recharging Reform Judaism, doing what we need to do to ask the question, what means for us? For Ami, it's clear because, you know, for Ami, the world starts and ends in America. We are trying to convince him that this is also time to recharging global Reform Judaism. That is something that we need to do together. This is time really to come back and to reform the reform. We need to stop to keep going doing more of the same. We need to move out from the reformodoxia. And we need really to have the courage to make the changes. This is our nature. This is our essence. This is our commitment. And the second thing, we need to progress. What is the next step? Progressive Judaism doesn't mean progressive in economic things, in political things. Progressive means what is the challenge, the next challenge of our Jewish progressive agenda aligned with our Jewish values. We pray that we can say it every time, that we came back to the global family, Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. Shabbat Shalom.